morning and welcome back to Plannercraft. Hello to those members that haven't been with us before, and today, owing to last night, we're going to do a little bit of a change to what we had planned. So I've grabbed a load of offcuts, my foil quill USB from Paige Evans, and we're going to be using some of the designs that are inbuilt on your ScanNCut SDX. Now if you're working on a CM, what you can do is just create a plain basic envelope template and then take a circle from it, and all will become clear when we start to see it on screen.
Okay,
so first of all, let's do hellos.
Yeah, so you have Jen, Deb, Christina, good one, Beatrice and Sandra, good morning.
Hello,
everybody.
hello.
And all the others who've joined us, and Josie, good morning.
So if anybody wonders why I keep looking that way is the computer. So I do try to keep an eye on comments as well, just in case he misses any. But
And morning Carol, morning Sally Ann.
Morning Carol.
It's
Carol.
not Carol. It's another Carol.
There's
the
Carol.
Yeah. And Lily, morning Lily. And Valerie, good morning.
Did we say hello to Sally Ann?
I did.
That's okay then. Okay, so do you want to put it onto close cam, sweetie?
Close cam.
Yeah. There we go.
There you go. You're there.
So at the moment my SDX has an update waiting, but we're going to save that for the weekend for our intro course so that we can show how to update. So in case anybody's wondering why I haven't installed it yet, it's not that I'm not going to. It's just that we're saving it for the course.
Morning Josie, and welcome to your first live. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Pop them up in the questions. And morning Janet as well. And to anybody who's new, don't be afraid to ask questions. We do answer as much as we can. It doesn't have to be about what we're doing, or if it's just craft related, we do our best to answer as we go along. And morning Linda and Janet.
Okay.
And sorry Sally, yes, I forgot to drop the Ann. That's my...
So I'm going to go to pattern, and we're going to use our down arrow to get to our second screen. No, we're not yet. I'm peeking too soon. Go to the design one first, then do that. Good start. Wouldn't say the nerves are kicking in today or anything. Okay, so this one just here, 006, is the one that we're going to be using today. So as I said, if you're working on a CM, if you just get a basic envelope template, so I'm trying to think if there's one on the actual machine, but if not, you can get one from Template Maker and do it that way. And if you need help doing that, Ian did a video before Christmas on Template Maker, and then you can pop a circle in to get the aperture.
Jen's asking which course. So, Shane from Australia, 10 PM here. Oh, thank you Shane. She loves our live demo.
Hey!
Sure.
It's good to be back.
It is. The courses, we're doing some courses in January, Jen. So in January, this weekend coming up, we have courses on setting up and using the SDX and CM. The following weekend, we have the intro courses to Canvas, desktop and online. And then we also have the following week, we have one on
Affinity.
Affinity Designer, and then the following weekend we also have
Scale and Corel Draw.
Yeah, Scale and Corel Draw. So
or
they're
Coral,
all available.
depending on how you want to pronounce it. Coral.
Corel. They're all that we're doing. They're all available from our Buy Me a Coffee extras page. So if anybody's interested in those who isn't already booked on, you can book on through those.
Okay.
Sorry.
So the reason we're doing it this way round is it's much easier to create your envelope first and then size your card to fit your envelope than it is to do it the other way around. So let's start off with our envelope. So the size relates to the total size of that shape. So don't be thinking that it relates to this size, which is why it's easier to do your envelope first. So I'm going to first of all decide which bit of the card I'm going to cut this out of, and I think I'm going to go for some nice patterned card. And let me just grab a ruler very quickly and we'll measure our card and check we have enough for the size that it wants to come in at. So it's just over 8 inches.
There you go, Sandra. I've just put a link up with links to our website and our blog.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll drop it. I'll put them up in here as well, Jen. So you can have the buy me a coffee link. Give me a sec and it'll go to the extras.
So, as I already have a USB on my machine, I'm just taking that off. I'm going to pop on the Page Evans one. So when we're working with USBs in our machine, it's a good idea to have a little extension lead. So if you're wondering why my hand's here for the USB, I have it literally strapped to the top of the machine so I can just easily change over USBs. Okay, so now if we go to add, we can go to retrieve data and to USB, and we're going to go to SVG, and I'm going to go down to words, and let's go for I was going to go for smile, so I think I'll stick that one. Okay, so our foil quill shapes are designed for drawing and not necessarily for cutting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep one copy of that we can draw, and then I'm going to offset it so that I have a shape that I can cut easily, and I'm going to weld it to this aperture in our envelope. Now if you're working on a CM and you've got basic envelope template and a circle that you've put in on your machine, weld isn't necessarily going to work for you, but we'll show you a few tricks with Canvas later this week so that you can do this that way. So if we go into edit, object edit and offset, then you can choose your offset distance, and you can see already it's giving you a little preview. And if you go into the negative, it's going to take that offset inside, and in the positive it's going to go outside. So with a guide of about that much, you can see that you've got a little bit of a border, but you're not losing too much detail, so we can go OK. So we now have two shapes. We have the shape that we brought in of our USB, and we have our offset shape. So I'm going to bring that up there. Now if it's not quite big enough, you're going to want to edit both of these at the same time. So this is where we're going to use our multi-select so that we can have both things selected, and we can group them and then edit them and then ungroup them. So if we go back into object edit, we're going to group, move it up to our aperture, and it doesn't matter, they're not perfectly aligned at this point. We're going to go to resize and take a little bit bigger.
Hi Tracy, not sure what's going on with the notifications. It came through quite quick on ours today, but don't know what's going on there. Tracy, you just got the notification.
That's no good, is it?
No.
So I'm going to rotate this just because I want it a bit of an angle on our envelope, and at this point you need to decide which way around your floppy or envelope's going to work. So I think I'm going to take it that way instead, so that we've got room to still write address details if we need to, and we can still see our smile. Just going to ungroup those for a minute, and then we can go into move and align. Looking at the line are 2 centres, so they should be back in sync. Now if we use these 2 arrows here, we can cycle through our shapes. So you want to make sure you go for the bigger one.
Tracy's asked what you're making.
So we're doing a decorative envelope today, and then we're going to do the card to fit in it tomorrow. That's the plan anyway. Next, I want to just double check before I go too far that I've actually overlapped these edges, and it looks like I may be slightly too small, so I'm going to go slightly bigger. Just so I can cover this area here, and we're already overlapping down here, and we could do with catching a little bit this E. So again, I'm going to go into multi-select, use the window, it's going to select our 2 words there, object edit, group, then resize. So it won't let you resize without doing that group function. So if ever it's greyed out, it's a little bit of a prompt to help you out. So now I'm going to zoom back in. And we can see it's overlapping here, here, here. And round our E here. So we can go OK, OK.
Morning, Delcy. I might do a quick live later this afternoon, just where you can check your settings on notifications to make sure you do get notifications.
Yeah, I did say about you doing that this morning, didn't I? And it went out of my head.
Yeah, other things took precedence, didn't they?
Okay. So, I'm going to find my... I know what I forgot to do. Ungroup your words, because now we want to weld that back piece to our envelope. So we need to ungroup and click off. Okay. Make sure you got the right one selected, so the bigger one of the 2. Go to multi-select, and we're just going to tap our envelope. You're going to go OK, object edit, and weld. Oh dear, you gotta love it sometimes, don't you? It's not gonna do it. Okay. It's just one of those days, isn't it?
Josie's off to make a cuppa. She should have made a cuppa first, carrying it all to the kitchen.
Okay. So, that's interesting that it's done that.
That's welded bits of it, not all of it.
It is, instead of welding it, it's divided it. That is weird. Not what we're intending to do. Let's get rid of that. So, it obviously takes exception to the word. So, let's sort that one out, shall we? Now, I'm just going to check that it will actually weld with just a basic shape. That way we're eliminating that it's the envelope that's at fault. So I'm just going to bring in a small square. And I'm just going to overlap it. It doesn't matter where, because I can always bring that envelope back in. So if we go to edit, select all, object edit, and weld. It's the envelope causing the issue. Naughty envelope. Okay. Now, Ian, do you fancy doing a little bit in canvas for me? If I do all the pieces for you?
That could be interesting.
Okay.
I'll give it a go.
I'll do all the pieces and send it to you.
Right, let me get canvas open. I'll let you know.
So if we go to add, and we can bring our word back in. Dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee.
You don't want me to add any text, do you?
No,
That's good.
I'm doing the text. I'll even do you the offset.
There's a reason I'm asking about text, isn't there?
Yes, because I had to do the Big Sur update, so my text doesn't work anymore. But the computer was not going to let me get away with it, was it? So
No.
I'm just going to resize that, twist it round, then do the offset. So let's make that a bit bigger. Rotate and add going that way. Okay. Offset. Okay. So at the moment all those are separate pieces, so we'll go OK. OK again, and we'll go to save. And at this point it gives you the option of saving it to the machine, USB, or send it to the cloud. So if we send it to the cloud, and it says there's a group pattern on that, and once you save you can't ungroup it, just go at OK. It makes no difference. Okay. So that has gone up to the cloud, and it's over to you, Ian.
So, hopefully you can all see my screen. You can also see the chat at the side there, hopefully, so I hope it hasn't lost all that. So we're going to File, and we're going to import from your cutting machine and the FCM file. So hopefully,
Ta-da!
there we go. As if by magic. There we have that file. So what would you like me to do with this, dear?
So you're going to nudge that smile so it's overlapping the circle, and the back offset, so the biggest offset, is going to be welded to that envelope.
Let's have a look at your layers first.
And that's why it couldn't do it. So rather than grouping it, it needs to actually subtract those little pieces from the big pieces. So just work on the text first, so the two top groups.
So those two first.
Yeah.
Let's sort those out.
Yeah, so first of all ungroup the top one and then do that one.
So which is
So you can hide the others first.
Yeah, let's shrink up some of these just so I can...
Yeah, so you can see the wood for the trees.
Okay, so let's turn that one off. That's that one. That's the inside one. Okay, so just leave that one. So we're going to ungroup that with right click and ungroup. And then with it all selected we are going to go to edit and subtract.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes that all one shape hopefully.
Yep.
That's why it's having issues.
Yeah. Then you need to see that for the next group.
So we'll leave that one as that. So then we go to this one, we can turn that one off, turn that one on. So again we can see we've got all these bits. Nobody's saying they can't see or hear me, so that's good. So again we're going to right click, ungroup, and then with them all selected, we're going to go to edit and subtract. Again that should hopefully make that all one shape. Oh. Yay!
And they're in the right order now.
Yeah.
So finally your envelope.
So now I can turn on that one. Are you happy with placement?
You probably want to nudge it slightly, but you're going to want to sort out your envelope first because your envelope has the same issue if you drop it down.
So what have they done to this?
They've created all the score lines as little dashes, so the first thing you can do is take all of those out.
Okay.
So it's basically everything from there down.
They're individual?
Yeah.
Numpty. Who created this one?
Not me. It'll catch up eventually.
Yeah. Bear with it.
Thank you.
Hello, Nicola.
Okay. That's making it think. There we go.
Hey, there we go. That's got rid of all those little dotty lines. Do you want me to put them back in properly, or?
Nope.
No, you're happy with
You
them?
don't need it.
Don't need it. I know you're good, but you know.
You're just going to use a ruler and a scoreboard.
So essentially, glad you cleaned it before we all came round.
So the next issue that you have at the moment with that shape is it hasn't had its subtraction done properly.
So do you want me to punch the circle through?
Yeah, so you're going to have to move the circle up above the big shape.
I'll just ungroup it.
Yeah, so ungroup it.
So let's ungroup. And then we're going to take this one.
Yeah, you need to select it. There we go.
Move it underneath that one. Not always. The only reason I had to delete all those ones is they put them in each as an individual little dash, so I had to select all of them. Normally when you put in a dash line, you can put in
just a continuous
a
path.
continuous path, and then do the I'll show you in a second on a path and show you how you could do it through Canvas. Let me just subtract this for a moment. So this is then right. There we go. So that's punched that through. So now we can see in our layers we've got circle with a hole. We have our
text that you're going to set to draw.
you want that as draw, do you?
Yes, please.
So we're going to set that to
As
draw.
you're there.
As on me, yeah. And then you've got your outline, which we're going to leave to cut, I think. Yeah, Deb says it's good that it didn't work because now we know how to fix it. So
Yeah.
if you want to put in a dashed line, we can use what's known as the path tool, which is this one here, or you can press P, and you can see there it lights up the little corner there, which is your that node on that corner. So we can select the one side there, and we can ping it across. We can click once, and if you want to do the entire square, which we could do because it's the square that we're going to set to dash, we can go around the four corners, make the shape, and then up here, which one do you use? Third one down, isn't it usually?
Yeah.
Set that to dash, and then you've got your dash line back in, and then all you've got to delete then is that square if you want to take out the dash lines. It does depend very much on how it's been designed. If you designed it yourself and wanted to do it that way, that's the easy way. If it comes in and it's got lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of single lines, then yes,
Take them out and
take
put them
them out,
back in.
put them back in, because one, your machine will love you for it, because rather than thinking, oh, I've got 120,
yeah.
how many different dash lines it thinks I've got 4 lines to do. So in that sense, it's much easier for you. So it will be easier. Do you want those left in now, or do you want me to take them back out? Do you want them or not?
No, take them out
Take
for
them
me.
out. Okay, so Matt doesn't need them, so we'll take them out. But that's how you can do them if you need them. What else did you want me to weld? Do you want me to weld the outline to the thing? Do I need to move the outline down or not?
It doesn't matter. You could do a thingy select if you wanted to. So with the command key.
Yeah, but it
It
but
doesn't
that was in the
matter
right
which
place.
way.
Doesn't matter which way around. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to select these two. Is it in the right place for you?
As much as I can see, yeah.
Okay. And subtract again.
No, you're going to weld.
Weld, sorry. That's why I check. So we're going to weld these two.
There we go.
Lovely. So if I zoom that in just a little bit.
So you can see what's going on.
So there you can see now it's welded through the. So if I turn off the text for a second.
So you can see a bit clearer.
There you go. You can see a bit clearer now that it's actually welded our shape together. So we've now got somewhere to put our smile once we've written it. You're going to foil it, are you?
I wasn't going to foil it. No, I was going to just draw it for today.
Okay.
But yeah.
So now that we've done all that, we can send that back to the machine. Yes. So we can now go up to File and Oh, I need to do it on both layers now, don't I? You want the cut layer back. Sorry, I'm just turn that layer back on, otherwise that wouldn't get that layer. It's an important bit to notice that if you have a layer turned off and you then send something to export, it will only send what is visible on the screen. So if you've got a layer turned off, it won't send it. So we have the SDX set up for a wireless connection, so I can transfer it over the internet, press OK, and that's back with you.
Okay.
I hope. Close scan?
Yes, please.
So there you go, and that's back with Nat for...
Okay, so that's what we've just sent to it. So now we can go home and delete it all off. We're going to go to retrieve data and from the cloud. And that's the file that Ian's done. And the easy way to tell is that if you look at our text here, it has a blue line which indicates that that line there is going to draw rather than cut. Okay.
Do you want to go to overhead with
yes,
the...
please.
Do you want to do one? Let's go all three.
Yeah. So, brand new map. Yay! And I'm going to...
Do you want to say that we're using an Artisticks?
Yes, yep, so we're using an Artisticks map. And I'm just going to apply my card on. Now, because this definitely has a right way up, I've stuck my card on the right way up. Rather than trying to think, oh, I'll do it to this corner and stick it up there. So that way, when I move everything, I can just move it and just concentrate on placement rather than having to rotate my design to make it fit the paper. Okay. So, with map loaded, we can do a background scan. And that's going to feed through your machine and back again.
So how can I increase volume ready for another session if my hearing is poor?
Hopefully we're going to fix that for you later on today.
Is it the volume our end is poor, or the... Is anybody else having issues hearing us okay, or is it a bit quiet? You can let us know. It may just be a computer setting your end that you just need to turn it up. Maybe. I think we've got everything set as high as it will go on ours at the moment for reception.
Yeah, until
yes,
later when we get a different mic. So
Sally says perfect. All fine here, volume wise. Okay.
I'm going to select everything. Go OK.
Sounds okay.
Object edit and group, because we want to keep that in the same position. Then we can then drag that down so that we can make the most of our card.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to check, just to make sure, because we had problems last year with our mic being the issue with sound. It wasn't picking up very well. That's why I just wanted to check that the sound was good for everybody else. How can we increase the volume for hearing? Are you on a PC or a Mac, Marion? If you can let me know. And I can give you some tips to what you might be able to use for key presses to put your volume up, or where to find it.
Okay, so with that moved down, we can go OK. Now we've got a few little fiddly pieces in our design due to welding that text. So you...
Do you want me to swap it?
Yeah, go to the close cam for now.
I'll have a look at that, Jen, in a moment. Just moving the camera a little bit over, because it's where you had it for setting up. It wasn't central desk. You had it over one side. So
It's only because of getting it in the machine.
But we could centralise the overhead, so it's over the But we'll change cameras for now and pop it onto the close cam for you.
Maybe a bit more that way.
Yeah, I'll have a look in a sec on the...
There we go. Right. So with that moved, I'm going to go OK, and I'm going to go to my vinyl blade, just because we've got a few little tiny pieces. And I'm going to pop that in.
What do you want to swap? Let's see where. Hang on a sec.
Okay, so
just tilt it bits of
I was going to say, shall I bring it down there? Because I can. And across a bit.
That's it.
There we go.
That's it, I can swap to that camera. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get the angle quite
No, that's alright.
that way, but it's close enough.
Yeah. You have to excuse the camera across Natalie's face now for a moment just while she's...
Yeah. So I'll try my best to talk above it or below it.
It doesn't make any difference to you, just slap bang in the middle of it. So.
Ah, oh right, okay.
So that's done on there. There we go. So as you can see, as I was saying, it's the vinyl auto blade, so it's the blue topped one.
So I'm going to cut. Then we can go into the settings. And my cut pressure is still on -5, so I obviously used the vinyl blade last time. So although when you first open your DX that will be set to auto, you may find that as you start to work more and more with designs, you find what suits your style. So I do a lot of detail work, so my standard auto blade tends to be at -9 pressure, and my vinyl's at -5. Okay, and we can let that go.
You look like a DJ because you got them crushing.
Yeah, I'd be quite happy doing that. That's though, because you're just getting a notification now.
It has to be on for a while, but it's just popped up. So.
It's weird.
Yeah. There we go, what? 33 minutes?
What is it doing?
It's doing the smile, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you'd think it'd go round the outside first, wouldn't you? There we go. Never does anything in a logic order, does it? Okay, so with that done, I'm going to take out my blade, put its cap back on. So with the standard auto blade I don't tend to worry about the cap too much because it's a much tougher blade, but your vinyl blade you definitely want to put your cap on it. Okay, so what pen shall we go for today? We've got lots of choice now.
Too much choice is the problem.
Let's go for... Don't really want to go paint pen, do we?
No. What look are you going for?
Bold. Dark.
Bold and dark. Sharpie? I might, yeah. Shall we? Means my hand just happened to land on a Sharpie box. It's still Sharpie for a change. Even if it means I might decorate them out. So let's go for thinking about the colours that I've got already on. Not that one.
Not that one, it's going to throw itself on the floor. Let's go for purple.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Be like a bit of purple. Do you want to keep that out for when you're finished and then put them away?
Yeah. And I'm going to grab my Sharpie pen holder. Let me pop that in there so I can get back.
Yeah, and get back across where you need to be.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Right. So you take your cap off your Sharpie pen and load it into your Sharpie holder. Then you're going to screw the cap back on. So if you're not familiar with this particular holder, it's by 3D Fun Prints. And if you enter our competition, you can stand a chance to win one. So I'm just going to pop that in there.
We haven't sent the competition this one.
We haven't, have we?
Yeah.
So we're going to go OK. Back to our please select, draw. And at the moment it's just going to draw that outline. So should we just do the outline? Yeah. I was going to fill it, but no. I'll just do the outline because it's a nice bold one.
Coloured and curled your hair because it looks nice. No, it's just moshed and it was put in the plaited last night when it was wet. And
so it is curly. It's very curly.
And Carl is a genius, yes, he very much is. And he very kindly supplies us with prizes for our competitions. So if you do enter any of our competitions when we launch them, we have the 3D pen holders, and we also have the foil quill holders that we give away as prizes for people who win our competitions, which are supplied by Carl. Okay,
so when you go to start with the Sharpie pen holder, it's going to come up with this little notice saying attach appropriate holder. You're just going to go OK and press start again, and it will ignore that it's even thrown up an error message.
It looks lovely.
Feels weird.
Curly hair again.
Yeah. I actually got hairspray this morning, and I don't usually do hairspray, do I?
No.
So while that's doing that, I'm just going to take the USB back out, because we've sent it to the machine anyway. It's not referencing it. So there's our smile that's drawn with our Sharpie pen, and if you wanted to fill it with a different pen, you could do as well. So with your Sharpies, you want to get the caps back on them as soon as possible, as they are alcohol based, so they do like to dry up.
Yes, Josie, the pen holder that Carl makes
I will model
is specifically designed for the fat Sharpies.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit the fine line ones, but it is specifically designed for the fatter ones with the bold tips, so you can put them into your either a CM or a DX using this pen holder, and you can use them to draw, colour in, and use them lots. So yes, they are fantastic. I think it's around £13, I think. £13-15 it was. I don't know if he's changed his price because I think he's lowered them a little bit.
Yeah.
If you want to buy it individually, or you can enter one at our competition when we launch it, and it might be you that wins our prize.
So, just for today, rather than going to filling, I'm just going to take this off my mat. There isn't very much left on that, is there? So that'll probably be another one that clears the offset tray a bit more. So I'm using metal spatula because it's easier to get underneath delicate items with it. So especially when you start to get to your smile just here, you're going to want to get your spatula underneath to help tease it off your mat. Like so. So just take your time.
Let me just find you the...
So when I did the subtract, it lost the dot off the eye, but that doesn't matter because we can put a little gem in there. And can throw away the little random.
Sharpie. That's the one. It's even available on Prime.
Okay. So with that cut, I think I may just make that up and then we can do a little bit of decorating that tomorrow. I'm just thinking about time. So let's move these offcuts just to one side for a moment. And we're going to unload our mat. Let's pop you back over the top, like so. Now I'm doing that blind. That's okay, because you were typing, so I didn't want to disturb.
There you go, how's that for you? Is that?
That's not far off, it's a little bit wonky. There we go. So, little trick with your backing paper off your R6 mat, and usually I get Ian to demonstrate this one, especially when it's brand new. It's just roll your backing paper, line it up at the top.
The slimline pen holder, yeah, I mean, can you be showing a second his other pen holder?
The universal.
Yeah.
There we go. Just get rid of the air bubbles. So, the universal, there we go. And let's grab a guide. I'll even grab the clean guide as well. Supposed to the one I painted in blue pen. There we go. So that's the universal. Has a little screw cap just here, and as that winds down, that's going to bring these teeth in at the side here. And that can hold a lot of pens. When people ask me which pens do I recommend, I am sport for choice. So the Staedtler Tri Plus will fit in this, even with their triangular barrel. That's why I haven't tried yet. I haven't tried an Inconic in it yet.
Yes, you only had them for Christmas, do you?
Yeah. I was playing with them yesterday as well.
Yes.
Do you want to grab one for me very quickly?
No, we'll do it later.
No? Okay. Told me.
Yeah.
So if you have something like the Stabilo fine liners, those will fit in. So it's not a case of it's just round barrel pens that will fit in. You've got lots and lots and lots of pens.
I'll send you a link for that one as well individually. Again, these are what we give away with our prizes. But you will only get them in the colours we have them.
From us.
Yes, because they don't.
They're limited edition.
They are limited edition and unique to us, and they don't come out.
I'm just going to see if I've got a pen that I can just grab to fit in. Let's try one of those, because I haven't tried one of those in it. There we go. So when you're going to put your pen in, you're going to want to put your guide on the bottom, and then you're going to slide your uncapped pen through the top, and you want to make sure that your nib goes through the centre point there. You're then going to push it down so that your nib touches the bottom of your guide, and sometimes it takes a little bit of encouragement to do that. And then you're going to tighten your screw thread until you feel it well and truly grip that pen. Then if you give it a little tug there, you can make sure that everything's holding, and then take your guide off. You have 2 lines on the holder, and those go to the back. So then you slot that in your machine and carry on as normal. There you go. So the pen I use just is a Pigment Micron PN, which is a plastic nib. But there are so many pens that you can put in it. You can put calligraphy pens in it, we put pencils in it. We even put some coloured pencils in it, which is interesting.
Here we had the like Zentangle ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
From Zebra.
So there's
I don't think
hundreds
you
and
still get those, to be
hundreds.
honest.
You can't.
No.
You can't get my Zen stations anymore, which is very annoying because they were nice. Right. There we go. Squeeze them back in there.
Yes, the holder is brilliant. It's highly recommended. We can't recommend Carl enough. Like I said, he's sorted a major issue that Brother came out with, because their pen holder that originally, the clasp at the top is horrible for people who have dexterity problems.
On occasion, me included.
Yeah, including us. Even people without dexterity problems, the clip on the top of the Brother ones is awful design. And at least the one that Carl has created, it's easy to use and it's brilliant. So we can't recommend it enough.
There we go. So with your mat covered up, we're going to move on to our scoring. Now I know you're in here, just you're hiding.
Yeah, the Brother one's so hard to use. Yeah, absolutely, Josie, couldn't agree more.
Let's go for that one.
So we do our best to be unbiased, but if we find something we like, we do recommend them strongly, don't we?
Yes.
Same with the Artistix mats. We love the Artistix mats. Quite happy to recommend those over Brother. The tack on them is so much better.
So I'm just going to line this up.
And duration as well, they last a lot longer, don't they?
Yes.
And cleaning is easier too, because you only need a lint roll to clean them.
So I'm just lining this up point to point, which is why I don't tend to do score lines for something that is pretty straightforward. If you're working with more complex 3D things, then you can put your score lines in. It makes life a little easier. So then we're going to go and fold all of these in. And I'm just going to do it with my fingers to start with, and then I'll go back and press all these with my bone folder onto my cutting mat. So the bone folder I'm using is a Teflon one.
You can move your camera so you get more.
Okay, let's move you back this way a little bit. There we go. So with your envelope, you're just going to apply adhesive to your 2 side strips here. And let's go for a little bit of red liner tape. Now if you're not sure about where to apply your adhesive, if you fold in your long flap, you'll be able to see that it does leave a bit of gap down this edge, so you don't want to be putting your tape right up to your folded edge. slightly. Scissors. So we've had a big move round over Christmas, haven't we?
We have. So if we can't find anything, that's why.
So I have every intention of doing a studio tour for YouTube. It's just waiting for me to have the time to film it and do voiceover, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's also going to be some videos and Q&A things happening in the afternoons, isn't there?
Yeah.
Is the plan. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of wet glue. That's going to help give me a little bit of wiggle room, not just when we're folding this first bit over.
Sandra really looks forward to the tour. And there you go, your tour's going to be pretty sweet.
Good, good. Okay.
So if you're not already signed up to our YouTube channel, you can find us on YouTube as Plannercraft. You can subscribe. So all of our videos at the moment now ping out to Facebook, YouTube and also Twitch. No, the universal pen holder doesn't hold the Sharpies as well, they're two separate holders, so you need to have both to be able to use the Sharpie pens. The universal pen holder will hold the fine line Sharpies, but not the fat ones, so you need to have the two to be able to...
Oh, don't want to put that up there. That's going to block the way. There we go. So that's the first bit of our envelope done, and I think for today we'll leave it there. So tomorrow we will do the card to go inside as well as some finishing touches for our envelope. So take care for now, and I think Ian's going to do a watch party or something this afternoon, aren't you?
I might find something to put up, yes.
And plus we have a few videos on the way that you're editing, aren't you? And
yes.
Doing... Well, I'll be doing voiceovers. I won't be calling get in to do the voiceovers. So take care for now, and we will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye!